The moment those words slipped out of my mouth, the entire diner seemed to fall silent. I had only meant to stop an awkward misunderstanding when the cheerful waitress smiled at us and asked if my wife wanted more coffee. Without thinking, exhausted after one of the hardest weeks of my life, I nodded and casually answered that my wife would have another cup. I expected my best friend to laugh, tease me, or correct the mistake. Instead, she froze for a heartbeat, her cheeks turned bright red, and she looked straight into my eyes with a smile I had never seen before. Then she quietly admitted that I should not dare take those words back, because she had secretly dreamed of hearing them for years. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, loyalty, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support helps us continue sharing heartfelt stories that remind us love often grows where we least expect it. Her name was Emily, and she had been my closest friend since we were 12 years old. We survived awkward school years together, celebrated graduations, comforted each other after heartbreaks, and watched life pull us in different directions without ever truly separating us. Friends and relatives constantly insisted we were meant for each other, but timing always seemed determined to keep us apart. Whenever I was single, she happened to be dating someone. Whenever she was finally free, I was trying to make another relationship work. Years slipped away while we remained each other's safest place, never admitting what lived quietly beneath our friendship. Life became especially difficult after my father's unexpected passing. Losing him shattered my confidence, and I buried myself in work just to avoid thinking about the empty chair at family dinners. During those dark months, many people offered sympathy, but most disappeared after the funeral ended. Emily never did. She quietly filled my refrigerator with groceries when I forgot to eat. She drove me to appointments when I could barely get out of bed. She sat beside me in silence when words could not reach the grief inside me. She never asked for recognition. She simply stayed. Even then, I convinced myself she was only being a wonderful friend. I ignored the way she remembered every important date, every favorite meal, every tiny habit that even I forgot about myself. Looking back, love had surrounded me for years, but I had become so afraid of losing people that I stopped believing I deserved someone who truly cared. That rainy afternoon at the diner had started like every other ordinary lunch. We were celebrating nothing more than surviving another exhausting workweek. Neither of us expected one careless sentence to uncover feelings hidden for over a decade. After my accidental introduction, Emily's shy confession left me speechless. I searched her face, wondering if she was joking, but instead I saw tears collecting in her eyes. They were not tears of embarrassment. They were tears from someone who had carried hope quietly for far too long. Walking home afterward, neither of us rushed to define what had happened. We simply talked honestly for the first time in years. We admitted every missed opportunity, every almost confession, every moment when fear convinced us to remain silent. We realized our greatest mistake had never been loving each other. It had been believing friendship would be ruined if the truth ever escaped. The following weeks tested us more than either of us expected. Some friends questioned whether we were risking a lifelong friendship. Others warned us that romance rarely succeeds after years of being best friends. Their doubts slowly crept into our minds. Every disagreement suddenly felt dangerous because we feared proving everyone right. There were evenings when silence replaced laughter, and both of us wondered if we had made a terrible mistake. But every difficult conversation ended the same way. Instead of walking away, we stayed. Instead of protecting our pride, we protected each other. We learned that real love is not built on perfect moments. It grows through patience, forgiveness, and the courage to remain when leaving would be easier. Months later, Emily invited me back to that same little diner. The waitress recognized us immediately and smiled before asking if my wife wanted dessert. This time I looked at Emily without hesitation. She smiled the very same smile that had changed everything months earlier, and I answered with complete confidence that my wife absolutely did. We both laughed until tears filled our eyes again, but these were joyful tears, born from gratitude rather than uncertainty. That evening I reached into my pocket and pulled out a small velvet box I had carried for weeks. There was nothing extravagant about the ring inside. It represented every ordinary day we had shared, every sacrifice we had made for one another, and every quiet act of kindness that slowly built an extraordinary love story. When I asked her to marry me, she never even looked at the ring first. She simply wrapped her arms around me and whispered that she had already said yes the day I accidentally called her my wife. Their story reminded everyone around them that love is not always loud. Sometimes it hides inside years of friendship, waiting for one honest moment to finally step into the light. It teaches us that the greatest relationships are often built on trust earned over countless ordinary days rather than dramatic fairy tale beginnings. Most importantly, it proves that kindness never goes unnoticed, even when it seems invisible. If this story touched your heart, please support this video by liking it, sharing it with someone who still believes in true love, leaving a heartfelt comment, and subscribing to Kindness Corner so more people can discover stories that inspire hope and compassion. Special request: before this story ends, tell us in the comments, do you believe the strongest marriages can begin as lifelong friendships? As they walked hand in hand out of the diner that evening, the sunset painted the streets with golden light, almost as if life itself was celebrating the ending of years of silence. One accidental sentence had changed two ordinary lives forever. Sometimes destiny does not arrive with fireworks or grand speeches. Sometimes it arrives disguised as a simple mistake, revealing a love that had been patiently waiting all along. And in that beautiful moment, they both understood that the happiest chapters of life often begin when we finally stop being afraid to tell the truth hidden in our hearts.